You've probably heard that provocative saying, "Son of a pastor, devil's nephew." It sounds harsh, maybe even unfair, but there's a profound truth hidden within it, a truth the Bible itself confirms. What is it? That the responsibility Christian parents have over their children is sacred, direct, and absolutely irreplaceable. No ministry, no special talent, no high spiritual position can ever substitute for the guidance, discipline, and example that must happen inside the home. Think about it. Our kids learn far more from what they see us do than from what we tell them to do. So if the home is neglected, even the children of the most respected spiritual leaders can wander off the path. The Bible gives us some very clear, and sometimes sobering, warnings about this. Let's look at the story of Eli, the high priest. His sons, who grew up right there in the temple, were wicked and did not know the Lord. Can you imagine? Despite being raised in a home completely devoted to ministry, they abused their positions, they profaned the holy sacrifices, and they completely despised God's word. Eli's failure to discipline them, his negligence, had devastating consequences. God judged him and his entire family, sending a powerful message that a leader's faithfulness always begins at home. But it's not just a story of failure. The Bible also shows us the other side of the coin. Think of Samuel, who's also a child dedicated to the Lord from birth, growing up in the temple under Eli's care. But his story is completely different. Guided by the obedience of his parents and the instruction he received, Samuel became one of Israel's most faithful prophets. What was the difference? It came down to instruction, commitment, and discipline. Then there's Joshua, a man called to lead an entire nation. His leadership didn't just happen on the battlefield or in public assemblies. He made a powerful declaration that revealed the foundation of his strength. "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." His home was his first mission field, the primary ground where he proved his faithfulness and leadership. His public authority was built on his private integrity. This isn't just an Old Testament idea. The New Testament drives this point home with even more clarity. When the Apostle Paul lays out the qualifications for church leaders, what's at the top of the list? He insists they must manage their own household well, keeping their children under control with all dignity. And he asks a piercing question. For if someone does not know how to manage his own household, how will he care for the church of God? It's crystal clear. Spiritual authority starts with consistency in the family. And let's be honest, this warning isn't just for pastors or elders, it's for every single Christian parent. We are all called to train our children in the faith and in obedience to God. This goes all the way back to the very foundation of Israel's faith. God gave them powerful lessons on how to pass their faith to the next generation. Moses instructed the people, "These words that I command you today shall be on your heart. You shall teach them diligently to your children." Notice that word, diligently. This wasn't a casual suggestion. Spiritual education couldn't be outsourced or delegated. It had to be cultivated right there at home, through daily example, through discussing the word, and through consistent discipline. Parents are, and always will be, the first and most important teachers of their children's faith. The book of Proverbs echoes this timeless principle. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Now we know that our children's salvation doesn't depend solely on us. They have their own choices to make. But our neglect, our lukewarmness, or our hypocrisy can throw the doors wide open to spiritual failure in their lives. History, both biblical and modern, is filled with stories of children who grew up without clear boundaries, without genuine spiritual guidance, or without an obedient example to follow. So often they rebelled or lost their way, even if they were the children of respected spiritual leaders. So when we hear that saying, "Son of a pastor, devil's nephew," we shouldn't see it as some fatalistic curse. We should see it for what it is, a serious, urgent warning. Caring for our home, instructing and disciplining our children, living a consistent Christian life, and teaching the faith by our example, these things are not optional extras. They are the first and most urgent responsibility of every believer. Preaching a powerful sermon, leading a thriving church, or having a flawless public reputation means very little if it's not backed up by faithfulness at home. Let this old saying be a constant reminder that true ministry, the ministry that matters most to God, begins within the four walls of our own house. Every Christian father and every Christian mother needs to grasp this truth. The spiritual health of the next generation starts with consistency, discipline, and daily teaching right where we live. A faith that isn't lived out authentically at home is a faith that's in danger of being lost. And with it, we risk losing the most powerful influence God has entrusted to us. Before we try to lead anyone else, we must first shepherd our own children. Before we preach to the world, our lives must reflect God's truth to our own families. Because in the end, nothing is more important in God's eyes than the precious children He has placed in our care, and our sacred duty to raise them in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. Thanks so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more content that helps us live out our faith in the real world. See you next time.